All right, good morning. This is the third video, Chatty Cathy. Yeah, I know it right. I haven't posted a lot, been very busy here around the house. A lot of things happening, upgrades on security, buying motion lights, gardening, raising chicks, which you hear in the background, plus just working. The war in Iran has been devastating for the stock market. I thought I was a real genius when I first entered it, just before Trump declares war on Iran, and I thought I was doing really good. I was like, yeah, I'm making money. And then the weekend comes out, and all of a sudden, I'm losing my rear end. I'm making some gains, losing some. Who knows what's going to happen with that? They always say the stock market comes back. I keep looking at it and saying, well, I'm not doing so good there, getting kind of disappointed, but hanging in there, you should too. I have some questions I want to pose, and I'm just mulling this over. And I am wondering if Trump's WMD, weapons of mass destruction, is an equivalent to George Bush's weapons of mass destruction, poison gas, and everything else in there that Saddam Hussein had. And I'm wondering if the similarities aren't striking. We said, okay, Saddam Hussein has WMD. We have to go and take him out. He's committing genocide. And he did have sarin gas. That's undeniable fact. And he used it on the Kurds. Chemical Ali, his, I think, brother or cousin or something, unleashed sarin gas on the Kurds in northern Iraq. That is a fact. It killed everything. Dogs, cats, women, children, men. It wiped out the whole town and killed every Kurd that came in contact with it. And that was a fact that they had it. How much they had is up for debate and, questionable. They said they sent it to Syria. The Israelis say, yeah, the cache is in Syria. They destroyed it. Let's see the evidence. They didn't show it. However, the Syrians did use it on the Kurds again. So that was Joe Biden's red line or Obama's red line and everything else like that. They did nothing about it. So there was chemicals used by the Syrians on the Kurdish people, again, the PKG, I believe. So there was weapons. How much? Don't know. Was an excuse to go to war with Saddam Hussein. Personally, I think it was Bush's personal war to get back at him for threatening to kill his dad and himself and everything else. So I'm wondering if Trump's WMD, the enriched uranium, which they said they destroyed, is now raising its ugly head in the ghost of, WMD. Is this Trump's Bush moment? We now have up to 2,000 reported Marines on ships heading towards Iran. Boots on the ground, they're saying no, but why are you having that many Marines heading that way? The obvious answer is yes, there will be boots on the ground. You cannot destroy the evil regime, and they are evil, just by bombing them out of existence. You can eliminate the heads of the snake. However, when it's a hydra and there's so many heads to that snake, and true leadership says, okay, I'm the general, but I'm going to have, a lieutenant general and a full bird colonel and so on and so forth. Should something happen to me, the next one in line, the next man up, can carry on. And I believe that's what's happening in Iran, and that's an obvious statement. So you can't bomb it out of existence. The Iranian people, for the most part, have still remained silent after this regime slaughtered up to 50,000 of them, killing them in the streets and the hospitals, shooting the nurses and the doctors that treated the people from protesting. They just hung 3 young men. One of them was a Olympic wrestler. They hung him at 19 to remind the people we are still in control, meaning the evil regime. It's amazing that the United Nations is silent on all of this, unless it's against the United States, and then they're full-throated, you know, I hate the United States, that's American aggression. Yet they say nothing about the mass shootings of people wanting their freedom, the hangings, the beatings and rapings of women that violate their Sharia law. It's double-edged sword. The Democrats, the Democrats here in the States are just as great a threat as any terrorist inside there, with the long lines at the airports punishing the American people. And if you're voting for Democrats, I hope you were waiting to catch a plane to go see your loved one and have to wait 4 hours, if that, to get there. I hope that vote comes back and bites you in the ass. But I am concerned about the war, what's going on, and the potential escalation. If the Marines land, they'll take that island that is in the northern part of Iran, their oil reserves, the refineries, which Trump says we want the oil. A lot of gamemanship being said and done, and I am keeping a very leery eye on what Trump is doing and everything else. I voted for Trump twice. I believe in what he's doing, but I am skeptical that people like Lindsey Graham and others are taking us down a path that we may not want to be going down. I'm still waiting for Venezuela to turn around. Cuba is about to go. And when these countries go, I hope that the communist leaders are paraded out that are so vicious and vile to their citizens, keeping them underneath their thumb, executing them, imprisonment unlawfully and everything else. I hope these people are captured, not allowed to escape to whatever hole or rock they crawl under and came out from. I hope they get their comeuppance and publicly tried and executed publicly, as a reminder that communist dictators, socialisms like Ortega and all these others have expiration date on them, and that expiration date is about to expire. In the meantime, the Iranian leadership has to understand, if you are going to continue on calling us the great Satan and Israel has no right to exist, you are going to assume room temperature very quickly. It is in your best interest to say, okay, maybe we can become part of the international community and cool our heels, and let's be a prosperous nation that we can. In the meantime, let's hope that this isn't Trump's Bush moment with WMDs. That's just my thoughts. It's been a long time coming. I was reviewing my videos. I've been talking about this moment for 3 years. I warned about Israel with the war Iran, how it's going to drag us out. So, thank you so much for liking and subscribing. That's just my view. Let me know what you think. Greg out.